In this Blender tutorial, I'll show you how to animate objects floating on a water surface. And in this tutorial, I'll be using the ocean modifier as the object to be the water. And for the object that's going to be floating, I'm going to be using this pool donut which I created, and that is from my tutorial on creating water caustics and pool donuts. So if you want to check out those tutorials and learn how to create water caustics and pool donuts, links to those videos will be in the description. You can also purchase the finished tutorial project files, which comes with the finished Blender file with this pool animation. So what I'm first going to do is just delete everything, and then I'm going to add in the inflatable pool donut from my other tutorial. So let's just move the donut over here for now, and then I'll go to the add menu and I'm going to add a new plane. Now on this plane, we're going to click over here on the modifiers. I'm going to click on add modifier, and I'm going to add the ocean modifier. So the ocean modifier is really cool for adding a animated ocean. So on the resolution here, I'm going to turn this up to like a 12. Also, if you open up the wave settings here, I'm just going to turn this scale up a little bit so the waves are a bit stronger. And then I could also repeat it if I want to, so I could turn up the repeat X and Y so it's bigger. Now I'm going to animate this, so what I'm going to do is hover my mouse over the time here and I'll hit the I key to inset a keyframe. Then I'm going to drag the playhead all the way over to the very end, so 250 frames, and I'm going to turn the time to 20, so type 20, and then I'm going to hit the I key to inset a keyframe. Then what I'll do here in the timeline is select everything by hitting the A key, and I'll hit the T key, and I'm going to click on linear. So now when I hit the spacebar to play this, you can see we have an animated ocean. And then if you do want to set up the rest of the scene settings the way that I have this set to Blender Eevee for this video. Also here on the world properties, I added in this autumn field pure sky HDRI that I downloaded from Polyhaven, so link is in the description. And then also for a quick water material, I'm just going to add a new material. I'm going to turn the roughness down to 0. I'm going to open up the transmission and turn the transmission up to 1. So now what I want to do is I want to add an object which moves along with the waves. So if I go to the add menu, I can add a new plane. Let's just zoom into the plane here. And in edit mode, I'm just going to scale it up a little bit. So now what I want to do is go here to the modifiers, and I'm going to click on add modifier, and I'm going to add the shrink wrap modifier. Now on the target here, we want to click on the eyedropper, and we just want to choose the plane here, which is the ocean. So if I hit the spacebar to play this, you can see with our animation, the plane is moving. And if you select the plane, you can press F2 to give it a label, and I can just call it float or just rename it something so you know what object it is. And so I can just play that and you can see the object is moving. So now the plane is moving, what we can do is we can make the pool donut move along with the plane object, and then it will look like it's floating. So I'm going to select the pool donut. Let's go to the constraint properties. I'm going to click on add object constraint, and I'm going to add copy location. Now on the target here, you can click on the eyedropper and choose the float object, or just click on the drop down and just find it. So now if I press the spacebar to play the animation, you can see if I select the plane and move it around, the pool donut is following along with the plane, and I can move it up and down on the Z axis if it's like too high up or too low down. But the problem is that when I play this, it's not moving with the ocean. So this option of the copy location isn't going to work on its own because the shrink wrap modifier is making it move up and down. So what I need to do is hit the tab key to go into edit mode, and I want to click right here to go to the object data properties of the floating plane. So I'm now going to open up the vertex groups. I'm going to click on the plus here to add a new vertex group, and then we want to click on the assign button with everything selected, and so that's going to assign each one of the vertices into this group. So now what I can do is go back to object mode, and I can select the pool donut again, and I can go here to the constraint properties. Now we have a vertex group, and if I select the vertex here, I can choose the vertex group that we added. So now if I hit the spacebar to play this, you can see it actually moves up and down with the waves. Now it still doesn't look that realistic because it's not rotating. So what I want to do is select the pool donut again. We'll go to add object constraint, and this time we're going to add copy rotation. And then here on the target object, we can choose the same float plane there. And then on the vertex group, we're going to choose that same group that we added. So now if I press the spacebar to play this, you can see it's moving around with the water. Now if I select the plane which is floating and hit tab to go into edit mode and select everything and scale it way up, now if I play this, go back to object mode, you can see the object doesn't really move very much because it's kind of smoothing it all out because it's a large surface. However, if I hit tab to go to edit mode and scale the plane way down here, you can see now it's moving around a lot more and it's really bumpy. But a problem with both of these methods of using a big plane or a small plane is that it still looks kind of jittery and it doesn't look very smooth. So if we hit tab to go to edit mode, we can hit Control E, and we can click on subdivide. So hit Control E, subdivide, Control E, subdivide, and let's do that a few more times. So now you can see we have a really subdivided plane. So now if I play this, if you look at the pool donut, you can see the pool donut is moving a lot more smoothly because the plane is a lot more subdivided. So now, of course, the last thing we need to do is hide the plane because we don't actually want to see this white plane here. So if you open up the outliner, we want to click here on the funnel, and we want to click on the disable in viewports and disable in renders. So show that. And then what I can do is open up the outliner here or open up the collection, and I can click on the monitor and the camera icon, and that's going to hide it from the view and hide it from the render. So now if I play this, it just looks like the pool donut is floating in the water. Now, one more cool thing you might want to do is you might want to make the pool donut be animated along the water. So you can select the plane here and you can move it over to the side. And let's go back to the starting of the timeline, and I will hit the K button, and I'm going to insert location. Then I'm going to move the timeline here to the very end, 250, and I'll drag it over maybe this far, hit the K button, and then insert location again. And then if I hit the A key in the timeline to select both keyframes, I want to hit the T key, and I want to set the keyframe interpolation to linear, and that way the keyframe is going to move at the same exact speed. So then of course I can click on these two buttons in the outliner to disable it from the view, and there we go. We now have a really cool animation of a pool donut just floating through the water. And if you'd like to purchase the finished tutorial project files to get the water caustics file with the pool donut and this animation here and this Blender file, you can get it with the links in the video description on my Gumroad store and Patreon page. And you can also check out my other two tutorials. I have one tutorial on creating realistic water caustics in Blender, and then I have another tutorial on how to create this pool donut. So if you're interested in checking those out, links are in the description. So I hope you found the video helpful, and thank you for watching.